Hi everyone, this is Rohit here. I want to show you a demo for Abeeway Firmware Update, which is a tool that we use frequently to update Abeeway trackers. The tool can work in both Linux and Windows, and of course in Windows it has a limited set of features. And if you're using Linux, it's better because the USB performance is better and more stable in Linux. So once you've installed Abeeway Updater, you go to the terminal and you launch Abeeway Updater. On my session today, I have a micro tracker connected, and if you want to see that the tracker is correctly connected, you can select the BLE and MCU firmware version, and in my case, the tracker is connected over USB. So the session I'm doing today will do the BLE firmware update over the Bluetooth and the MCU firmware update over USB port. So first you select the MCU firmware update button, you select the binary file. So I'm gonna go to the binary file. So this is the MCU firmware binary, and it is important that you select here the binary that matches your tracker. If you put the wrong binary into the tracker might not start anymore and it won't be usable. You will find instructions to know the tracker type from the dev UI from the application note for Abeeway Updater. So in this case, I have MicroTracker v3.0. So I'm going to pick up the firmware for MicroTracker v3.0. Then I need to select the config file. So this config file includes the firmware parameters that need to be set up. You will find the link to this config folder in the Abeeway Updater user guide. So I select the config file. Then if I want to update the BLE firmware, I can also select the BLE firmware zip file. So I go to the firmware update, I select the BLE firmware. Okay, now I'm going to start the update. So what is happening here is the tracker, the tool is first updating the BLE firmware. Now it is sending the BLE firmware over the air, over Bluetooth. And before that, the tool puts the tracker in the BLE bootloader. So now once the BLE firmware update is done, the tool starts to trigger the MCU firmware update, which you can see in the screen here. Just transferring the MCU firmware update file. So once the firmware update is done, the tracker will reset itself. So it is important that after the firmware update or during the process, you have the gateway nearby, so you are in the LoRaWAN coverage, because this will result in the reset of the tracker, which will trigger a join on the LoRaWAN network. Now I want